Hey, traders. Hope you're having a good one. Better than Bitcoin and altcoins. Holy crap. What a sell-off, man. What a pullback from your all-time high to your lowest point this morning. 20%, right? 20% pullback for a pretty big, insane rally where, just a little while ago you were up $8,000 plus. And really, just technically, no damage has been really done. Until this could change, of course, right? This could be the beginning, but as you're seeing selling coming in right now as I open my mouth, but and longs getting liquidated. What was it? Someone said $410 million worth of longs liquidated on this crazy move down and up. So you're above $50,000. Look what happened, that upsloping support. You went down, tested that. I guess that demand line had demand there, right? I guess there were bids there, and it rallied off of that. And you even in this little, remember the bullish, or the could be bullish bearish, the upsloping consolidation structure, the teal trend lines. You never had traders settle up lower than that on the 4-hour yet. So it's actually really just, it's not that bad. It's terrible for anyone who had a stop loss. I don't know how in the world if someone had a stop loss, how it didn't get triggered there. I think that people were talking about on Kraken, it went down to like 28K scam wick or something like that. I'm not sure. That might be fake news, but someone would back me up on that. I've been gone a lot today. Just handling a lot of IRL stuff. Okay. So what? Hold on, I gotta run in behind here. But are we live? Are we good? Everyone see what's happening here? You didn't even make a lower low than you did on February 19th. You haven't yet, and you could. But you understand if this is really, if it actually reverses here, what could happen? There could be an argument for hidden bullish divergence if you get a higher. If you start really pivoting above $50,782, which would be absurdity. It'd be the heist, the scam wick of a lifetime, right? One of the largest scam wicks, in this uptrend we've seen, right? You haven't seen much of anything like that. You had one move down back in January 4th that I tried. I was looking back at the chart. I'm like, what is comparable recently to this today? And the only thing I saw was January 4th. Yeah, so imagine having a stop loss anywhere, it probably got triggered, and that's the great, you get resets, man. This is definitely a short-term reset of everything, okay? Anything to look good, wrecked. So it's now, except I guess that's XRP's up almost 3% today. Congratulations, but we're talking like double digits across, percentage losses across the board. It was much worse earlier, but still, even after an about $8,000 recovery, you still have altcoins decimated. ONT down 17%, NEO down 16%. Litecoin down 10.5%. Well, at least Litecoin did something, right? Let's look at that before we look at Ethereum, because remember, can someone tell me what was the last analysis we had on Litecoin? Be careful, because why? Something. It was like the parabolic line was broken, but remember it was this right here. Anyone remember? One high, a second high, then a slightly higher high. Bearish divergence. And you thought, on the daily it was like 180 to 190. You got to 180, and remember what this is. Go to the daily. This is hilarious, man.
Excited on the pullback. It's like do fire sale. Either I am about to have a silly amount of the gains, or I'm about to get some pretty heavy bags for 5 months. Load the dips, take profit on the pumps. Remove the emotions set up before entering.
Is that a joint?
Patience is DX cat.
Thank you, Nefaris, 420. Thank you, dude. Yep. I don't know. Taking a long off of that, there's not too much besides, hey, it's a scam wick and it's going to keep going. It could, but at the same time, Nefarious is right. this could just be the beginning of something bigger, and we don't have the data to really know yet, right? On big drops, that's not where we shine. We shine when there's like a couple weeks to a month to 3 months of data, right, on a daily or weekly time scale, and there's that setup, right, we're looking for. At this point, things have just been absurd, right? Just higher highs, higher lows over and over and over on Bitcoin. Very few pullbacks. Same with the altcoins. They went into stupid levels, and it was just kind of like scanning through my chart, hitting the space bar. It's like nope, 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 over and over and over again, because they're just so high. So again, look at Litecoin. You know, has not broken any curve line. It didn't even test it, man. I thought it maybe, okay. I guess like I was thinking about it, maybe if it had moved, it had not dumped like that. But look what you've done. Look what Litecoin has merely back tested 179 on the daily for the first time ever, right? I mean, you know, since it broke it back in, you know, well, like 10 days ago or so, right? You broke out, now you're back testing, you're holding. If that holds long enough, eventually it runs back up to 228, 254, then moons, then goes crazy. So you weren't really showing bearish divergence on this. It was just the 4 hour looked a little exhausted, and a pullback happened to stop people out. I mean, at one point I think it was down 20% on that back test. So that's you're safe until you actually break that with confirmation and volume, right? 179. Ethereum. Oh man, it was at the, look at this, dude. Holy crap. I haven't even looked at Ethereum. I've been gone again most of the day doing things, but look at this chart. Does anyone see this on Ethereum? And like Veer H, thanks for the 15 super chat. Sorry, I saw your message. We were going, man. Okay, so that's just a demand line gets hit, and what happens? Demand is there. There are bids and limit buys set up at the demand line, and look what happened. Nice move up, but still on the daily, you could consider this a bearish engulfing candle. I mean, hopefully, Bitcoin. I mean, I'd love for this just to be a joke, fake out, screwed everyone, stopped everyone stomped out, but we got hold accounts, so I got it. I don't know how you'd be upset or disappointed. This was bound to happen at some point, man. You understand how many like trades, how many assets had just like been setting up for higher prices. They played out, and then eventually these things happen. Okay, some other ones set up for higher prices, and then it doesn't matter because Bitcoin does what it did today. So is it the beginning, or is it just a mere setback? And oscillators reset and all that. Maybe we should do a poll. We should do a poll on it. Still haven't figured out how to do the YouTube community poll, so I'm just going to do straw poll again. Was this the beginning of a more major correction? I would say that's a great question, right? Was this the beginning of a more major correction? Yes or no? It's pretty easy, right, for you to answer on Bitcoin. We haven't done a poll in a while, right? So, I mean, figured it'd be good. And believe me, we'll know the answer, right? I mean, in the coming weeks. Here you go. Here's the straw poll, chat. I'm going to pin this, too, so people can vote. No, you can answer no, of course, but I'm saying like you can actually cast your vote with a straw poll. I mean, some of y'all are so new that we used to do this a lot more. It's just big deal. All right, go ahead, cast your vote. Okay, so Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. Let's look at. I mean, stocks. It was bad for stocks too, man. But we can look at S&P 500 real quick. Oops, wrong S&P. Clicked it. Oof. Look at this, man. Like dumped, rallied, and it's dumping again. But it's not even that big of a deal, right? I mean, it's like it's just back testing the high from January 26th, and that's it. But I mean, you think it could go further? I mean, look, you got the 4 hour. I'm sorry, the daily bearish divergence on the RSI. So, weekly wise, oh god, remember dark cloud cover, bearish reversal, but it's so crazy because look, you get like a bearish engulfing candle, then a bamboozle green candle, and then you get dark cloud cover last week, and then you gap down, and you haven't really technically filled that gap at 39.06, but yeah, that's very bearish on the weekly, on the Qs, on the S&P, on the Nasdaq, you name it. All right, it's not. Well, let me show you here. Look at this MACD. That's super bearish divergence. Okay, I mean that's just very real classic Class A, and kind of hard to argue with that. What just happened? This is a weekly. Oops. Oh my god, dude. Here we go. So, I mean, RSI a lot more difficult. It had some bearish divergence, kind of. It played out, I guess, and then another. Just these bamboozle candles. Yeah, you say that while we got large inflows of Bitcoin off of cold storage onto exchanges now. So that's something happened. You got the F2 pool. People's continuing to dump their Bitcoin. So it could have, I mean, that's obviously something that could have been going on today. What could have helped drive the price down. So just be careful, man. I mean, really, look at this chart. I mean, I get it. Money printer go burr, but this is scary looking. Like a technical, I mean, straight line up since the COVID crash, not non-stop pretty much. You had, I guess you stalled a little bit in August through September, October, yeah, but that's very real bearish divergence here on this. If you look at the Qs, look at the QQQ, this has been a thing that's been awful, right? I mean, it's nuts, man. Like bearish engulfing, and then you had bearish engulfing last week, and now you're selling off, and the bearish divergence is so disgusting on the weekly. Look, and MACD is so, I mean, you can now start maybe arguing, hey, this is starting to play out. Could be the beginning where you come to back test 304 on the Qs. Same thing Nasdaq, Dow Jones. It's just been a really long time coming, and you just got to wonder, when is this actually, is it going to play out, or when? You know, it seems like soonish. What's up, Sad Higeki? Yeah, we can look at Tesla, man. Thank you, dude. What's up, Rigel?
$.e.n.p.h. Please take a look. Much appreciated.
Rory, thanks, man. Is that true, Rigel? I mean, wouldn't it be considered a felony to not report income of multiple kinds, right? I mean, so it's kind of in line with everything else. Doesn't that just mean that if they're doing that, then it's more legit? Right, crypto is more legit. Okay. It's gross, man. Let's see. Sorry. Yeah, so Tesla. Just go to Tesla now. Why not? Yeah, gross, man. Once you broke that 780, see it. Yeah, divergence didn't happen, man. Like the index, like it just looked like it was there, and this is why, like, ranges up at these levels, man. It's just, there's no value, right? So it's just better to go long on opportunities where they're not at all-time highs and ranges, at ice lines and stuff, when the index funds look like they're about to roll over on the weekly chart. I mean, your next target's 684. I don't know why you're not going to 684 here, you know. Down 8.55%. So, you know, you're in that crazy parabolic run. Let's mess with that. I don't even. What's up, Jim? Thanks, dude. Oh, back inside that channel we had plotted. Right, I mean, this was really well respected, too. Upsloping resistance, and then you finally broke out in late December, and then now you're back in it for the first time since then. So, you know, that's cool looking at it like that. But I want to try to draw that parabolic curve line tool. What's up, Scuba Steve?
Scuba Steve tipped $25.
Oh man.
Take a look at IBM.
Did it break?
Thanks, Mitch.
Did it break, dude? Oh man. Have you? I mean, it's really tough to. How do you anchor this here? Maybe we could extend this down. Hold on. Let me try this again from the. Wow. This thing could have broken a parabolic. Trend line. It's really tough here. Nah, man, not if you anchor down there. So that's Tesla right there. I mean, it's not perfect or anything. It's really tough to, but your daily is terrible. It's the highest level of negative momentum today on Tesla in history. Tesla has never seen this much negative momentum. All right. With that, you're at your lowest level of relative strength you've seen since March of last year. So definitely big developments going on Tesla, and I'm sure many other assets across this market. So maybe looking at some log scale might be more helpful. Let me try to mess with a channel looking at it this way. Dang, man, how do you even anchor? You have to anchor on the top, maybe? If you anchor like this, there's plenty of downside. Plenty of downside in store for Tesla. Okay, man, whatever. Yeah, it dumped. It broke a support, an ice line, and it's headed to the next levels. And there's not much support, dude. Below 680, there's very little support. I mean, you could see 500 in time if this market keeps rolling over. Didn't what? Yep, $1.5 billion put into Bitcoin. Tesla did. It could. I really don't know how that works, right? When they add their balance sheets and then Bitcoin dumps, what happens to the stock that day? It could be, but that's 10% of their holdings, right? 1.5 billion, 10% of their reserves or whatever. So yeah, that could have had something to do with it. Goodness. But man, it's just like across the market. You know, the only thing that really did okay today was precious metals, where copper hit a multi-year high, I think 9-year highs. Man, wow! Look at Bitcoin dominance. Let's go to let's check out gold real quick before we get to a couple more of those requests. Yeah, man. Yeah. So here is your XAU, finding bids in that December 26th low, but also very important, right? This is it, dude. This is like it. I mean, it's barely. It's like you're back above 1800 or 1793. That's really important, man. You'd fallen below it to hit some other support here, and you bounce. And now what you're praying for? You're praying for now gold to be making a major double bottom. That's it. That's you know. Because again, remember, below that 1800 area is really bad news. I mean, it could fall to much lower prices. Let's look at the weekly. You got that hidden divergence still going on. But just look left, man. You see like 1664, and that's not even really visible on the weekly. The weekly is like 1522. So at least some things rallied: gold, silver, copper. Let me pull that up. Let's see. Where is it? Is that it? There it is. Yes. What's going on? Yeah, dude, look at this. Copper just on a tear right now off a major double bottom. It's kind of similar to Bitcoin's back 3150, 3850. This actually hit the freaking bottom. So massive XABCD. So you're showing that fifth wave Running up, making deep retraces. Probably the 78% retrace at this point from that high from June of 2011.
Question is, what do you see as a target? I'm second guessing myself. Your thoughts appreciated.
Yeah, CVS. I thought we had targeted for that that hidden divergence. All that we can look at it. Sure. So is there any resistance? Yeah, definitely. Look at this resistance. Wow. Currently, copper's sitting at a high from May of 2006. Pretty much around May of 2008. So if you ever break this 412, you probably go up to test 463, which is, again, all-time highs. Man, you gotta look at this on the weekly. Where did the double bottom? This is what we're talking about, man, for education and stuff. Okay, just think about an asset that has a rally, a big one, and it busts, right? It corrects. XABCD, of course. Cypher, Gartley, or it's more like Gartley, BAT stuff. Okay, so creates that low, rallies, and sells off again. So it's almost like this major on copper. It's like a major reaction low and reversal low. First low, confirmation low, and so that's what you're looking for. You're looking for, you know, a bottom to come in, a rally, a sell off, then a higher low. But where the higher low is deep. It's like a 786, 886, and then you end up getting a second low at that same area. And that's like market participants gain confirmation that this is a double bottom. The second bottom's in, and it's much higher than the previous low. So now you're just in an uptrend in that situation. So yeah, break 412, you'll probably see all-time highs at 466. What a run. One of the only things that's been killing it. All right, it's been down a little today, but I mean, it's just been doing great. I mean, this is on the new day, so silver. Like, look at this, man. Silver's fine. Remember, anything above $26 is extremely bullish, because anytime you're above $26 long enough, you'll eventually run to $31. I think that's the target still. 31.15 on silver. No problem. I think all is well with this. And look at your shorter term uptrend too. Look, a high, a higher high, the highest high. Look, a low, a higher low, another higher low. So you're uptrending, midterm, short term, but you're also in a long term uptrend too now since last year. And we just know 31 and 35 are your targets on silver. Okay. All right. Inphase Energy. I want to look at this real quick. Bitcoin market. Get wrecked. We're still, hey, can you believe it? We're still above $1 trillion, man. After all the pain and suffering and liquidations and homelessness, 1 trillion. But it doesn't look like, I don't know, man. Like, that's going to be a bearish engulfing candle on the daily, but that's a huge wick. Inphase Energy. It's definitely kind of been a minute, I think, on this one. Yeah, last time I really was looking at this was like, it was like just a channel. It broke the channel, back tested it as support, and just kept going nuts, dude. I'm a parabolic run. This is one of them, and it could be towards the end, you know. Like, look at this one high, another high. That's like a clear, confirmed double top now, right? Because the double top's neckline is definitely 175. So you wonder, will this hit a measured move? It will if the macro keeps selling off for sure. But if, you know, the money printer starts going burr again like it has been doing for a year, then it's probably fine. But just talking about, like, it's kind of like Eve and Adam double top, confirmed double top, and then your measure move is pretty simple. I don't know, just going from that first high to the neckline to the breakout, your targets eventually for Inphase. Not too bad. Down at 129.06. Maybe it gets there. All depends on the macro, man. Probably. Very, very little support on most of these assets that have hit all-time highs and have just gone parabolic, right? I mean, why are they parabolic? Because look at the angle of ascent every single time, every time. you get two trend lines, right? You get two anchor points, two swing lows. So you plot the trend line, and then it rallies and sells off, and every time it fails to get back to that demand line. And so you just got acceleration of accumulation of demand, and then again, right? Then you create a new trend line, right? Because you got new anchor points, 1 and 2 here. And what happens? It fails to get back down there. Too much demand, so it just keeps legging up until eventually it can't leg up anymore, and then it tops out, and there's confirmation of a top out, at least locally for now. Hey, in these market conditions, you know what happens? What's been happening the past year? It sells off, gets about 40% of the way down there, pivots, and it starts going again and goes nuts again. So you can't assume anything, but you just got to identify that kind of it's toppy. I mean, look on your second high, you couldn't even gain positive momentum. And you had much lower levels of relative strength from the previous high. So there you go. Divergence of some sort. Any sort. That's Inphase, man. Hoping for the best. Not expecting anything. Let's look at this. Alright, you're weekly on Inphase. Oof. First level of negative momentum you've seen since July of last year. All this positive momo for so long. And now here it is. And it's your highest level of negative momentum you've seen since... technically, November of 2019. The good news on Inphase kind of, well, I mean, how do you even know if it was diverging? Because it was just a straight line up. But I mean, from this high to the next high, certainly lower levels of relative strength, I guess. So who knows how long that could last? We're just getting negative momentum island, and it just keeps building on lower prices. Plenty of downside. Plenty, man, right? Down 11.53%. There's your Inphase. See what happens. All right, IBM. Yep, holding on. Hey, on a bad day like this, IBM doing things, right? I mean, not really, but remember the whole thing. It was the weekly, long-term, historical uptrend demand line you were holding, but at the same time, it's a critical ice line that goes back to 2016, right? March 2016, right? You sprung, you back tested the spring. That was the last time I looked at it, and it's holding. It's holding for now, and I mean, my God, up 1.57%. You had a bullish engulfing candle on the daily. That's good. I mean, that's like, remember, low risk area. And then someone would start arguing, is it an inverse head and shoulder? I mean, it could start. You could definitely argue a left shoulder ahead, a right shoulder, and it just so happens to coincide Bulkowski's structure with Wyckoff's ice line, and it starts looking like a pretty interesting argument for upside on it. So I mean, eventually the first target will be 131. If it actually pivots here and never falls below 117.59, yeah, you're talking like 131 minimum. And then if it ever like broke out of the congestion, which would be kind of a neckline, pseudo neckline of this pseudo inverse head and shoulders, whatever. I mean, you're talking eventually like 153 will be a target. 145 then 153. I mean, they're just different highs. So right, interesting where all you do is make lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows until you finally get to a critical support from history. There wasn't just a support from 2016, it was a resistance from 2007. I mean, a lot of congestion here back from 1999, 2000, 2002. Well, we gotta mark that. That's not a joke right there. But yeah, as long as you stay above 117.59, eventually you think the target's 139.50. 139.50 more. Okay, that's it. IBM still looks great. Nothing's changed, right? The weekly was what was so intriguing about it. Well, not just the daily. This is it too, right? I mean, you're talking about a demand line that goes all the way back to the year 1993. Okay, look, multiple touches. You got another touch 2008. Look, 2019. You fell below at the COVID crash, but look what's happened recently. You were just skating along that, and that is a support now. So it's like converging supports, not just horizontal but upsloping. So that is incredible. I mean, I think that's like, that could be one of the lowest risk areas ever for this chart. I mean, really, right? I mean, if not this demand line that's been going on since 1993, then what would be considered lowest risk, you know, for IBM? And let's just real quick on IBM, from that low from 2008 to the high point. I mean, you're talking about all of this happening at a 78% retrace, nearly 88% retrace. So it's like value. So the value argument is definitely there. At the same time, what is this? I mean, really, IBM from 2008, it's almost like you've got yourself a Gartley here. I mean, how is that not a bullish Gartley? Someone tell me how this is not a bullish freaking Gartley. PCZ, ice lines, demand lines, it all is converging here. I mean, that is super powerful technicals on IBM for like low risk stuff. And it'd be like a continuation Gartley, right? Wow. I didn't just notice this. This is crazy, man. 618, 64, whatever. It's right around there. 786, right around there. Near the 1.4 fib extension as well. That's, I mean, look at that. Yeah, I mean, there's confluence between the 1.4 and the 786. I think that's incredible, dude. So this could be like investment. This is a weekly Gartley, so this could be investment grade stuff. Okay. Whatever, right? Who cares? Crypto's not a billion, so who cares? Look a little better right there. Contrast, man, that's something else, dude. I like IBM now. Like, I love IBM now.
Can you look at Aave?
Yes, Len, sure. Thank you, Tia, and thank you, Michael. Sure, both of those. Yeah, log those. Alright, Scuba Steve. Satisfied? Do you need a cigarette, Cabo? Old CVX, man, up 2.7% today. Energy, right? But TA being respected because we know on the daily, right? We know on the daily there was hidden bullish divergence. You know, double bottom on the 200-day moving average. Beautiful, right? You broke it, you back tested it once. Who knows? Second time, oh, market participants starting to be like, we might know. And since then, you've been rallying, and 102.68 is the first target. You're on the way there. But I think if you break 102, you're headed to 114, which could be a target, and then 127 after that. There you go. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I mean, the first area, it's not going to be a joke, and it's not, you're only a few dollars off of it. I'm just telling you, that's been there, and that's real. That's a critical ice line from June of 2020, from December 2018, from May of 2017. You understand, right? I mean, over and over 2012, 2014. It's like every year you're getting correlation there. So you break 102, I think 114. You break 114, 127. You break 127, all-time highs. So that's, I think, look, man, if you're talking about, this was like XABCD stuff anyway. So, and then you're talking about a higher low double bottom. This eventually could go to much higher levels, man. Cyclical, and it looks like things are turning around. Right? You really, like, if you want to actually talk about a true trend reversal, you got to break 102.68, right? That's pretty much kind of the point, like, where you're no longer, you're making higher highs, or sorry, you're making higher lows, but you're technically not making higher highs yet consistently. And so once you break 102.68, then you would be able to say, hey man, we're making higher highs now than our previous high, because that is your previous high. So you break it, you back test it, you hold it as support for a while, and then you go to the next level and the one after that, and then you're in an uptrend. Okay. That's CVX. They're your targets, dude. Thanks for the contribution, man. TA being respected. Hard. Real hard. Yeah. It's got the volume it needs technically. Yeah, it's like at levels that makes sense. I mean, you know, I really like, because I think the Iceland kind of was created in 2013. What's up, Anthony? Lorenzo Men?
Anthony Lorenzo super chatted $50. Mitch, hope you're doing good, my man. What are your thoughts on NFTX today? Thing looks like it is recovering from recent dip.
Thank you, dude, for the $50 super chat. My man. I'm sure we'll look at it. Add to the list. So, all ice lines you're talking about, you're above. I love the fact that it's above 240. Anything above 240 on HUSA, I think is really good, and could eventually find its way to 452. Yes. That to me seems like the most real price action this asset gets. Okay, I mean, anything it's like 240, it holds that one time, two times. All right, rallies to 450. Yes, it breaks through it every now and then, but eventually straight down, straight up, straight down. Right, chop around, can't catch it. Straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. Chops around, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. Pretty much straight up, straight down. You get it. So if it can hold above 240 long enough, Michael W, I think there's a real good chance of it seeing 452. I like that, man. I like how there was one bottom and then a second bottom, and then even after the second bottom, you see that craziness, man. This is what happens. It's still 1.31 million volume, so I mean, it meets the minimum criteria. It's a crazy scam wicks though, all over the place. But I do like how you made a low, the lowest low, and all of a sudden, quietly a higher low, pretty much at that other low from 2014, and you've just gotten above the, I think, most major ice line. So you got a real chance here, and the way you can look at this is pretty simple.
Over $20 equals lift off to moon.
What's up, Jeffrey, man? We'll look at it. Thank you. Add to the list. All right. So just a way to size up risk here, because it was up 1%. But after hours, it's down 0.96%. So pretty simple. You don't screw around with the asset below 224. It's kind of like the bottom part of that range. Duh. Like it's like this. It's so simple, right? 4.15 to 1 reward to risk. Maybe make that stop a little lower if you wanted. But that's it. That's a simple way to manage risk here, right? Look at that. That's the ice line. The ice lines, man. What's up, Jay Nathan? Yeah, flowers. Have they reported their Valentine's Day numbers yet, man? Well, look, Jay Nathan, thank you, dude. Right, just a simple way of looking at HUSA. Okay, and you really think it would be best for it to back test 240, just so market participants can confirm it is support again, because it broke it and hasn't done. You know, once it's sprung, it hasn't back tested the spring yet. So, and that stop loss protects you whether it does that or not. You know, there's your HUSA. I bet. Sorry. Huh? Yeah, not good really on AAVE, but somehow still holding above $400 by 62 pennies. Wow. Dude, I'm talking about you are this close to getting wrecked on Lind here. Really tough, man. You are at like the lowest of low risk areas, but you aren't really showing much of an edge, I don't think. You're hitting the 200 moving average on the 4 hour for the first time technically since January 4th. So, I mean, It's almost like head and shoulders stuff. It was like momentum shifting stuff. And remember, I hate when you make a high, the highest high, you sell off pretty hard, and then you rally, make a top, you sell off again, and then you make the same high. It's like a double top, confirming that this is the new thing. You're on the other side of the fence now on momentum, and it's bearish stuff now. So it really doesn't look that great. You could think about $400 as kind of a neckline, and if it breaks that neckline, man, I just don't know why it wouldn't eventually see 314, and then it could go lower than that. So just flip the chart over. You know, that to me looks pretty momentum shifting. Would it seem like to you as well, right? Like the lowest low, then all of a sudden higher lows, and you're like kind of double bottoming on a higher low than the previous low. It just depends probably on Bitcoin. Okay. But, you know, it looks like until you fall below 284, the trend could still be maybe bullish. Just consolidating. Someone could try to plot here. 1, 2, 3 like that, you know, and then maybe you're trying to come up with an argument for a wedge pattern. I don't know, man. It's not really that steep. Like this. Not sure, man. I'm just looking at more like $400 psychological support resistance, and it's trying to hold that really hard. And if Bitcoin can hold on, then Lynn's got a chance. But so if you get back above 400 and hold it long enough, then eventually I think you run up to test $542 top of the range. Okay, that's it. You know, it's not like it could rally, but these are just normally times when it kind of just. You're looking for better opportunities at lower prices. We have a new weekly candle. I'm sorry, a new daily candle. Sorry. Glad we got that one over with, right, chat? Here it is, Bitcoin. So, again, just to reiterate, because it's the top of the hour, the argument, I mean, this is optimistic thinking here. All right, it's only the 4 hours, not the daily or anything special. But I mean, no real technical damage has been done to Bitcoin. I'm talking, you haven't made even a lower low than just a barely discernible low from just a few days ago. And you tested the demand line, fell below it briefly, bids came in, and it pushed you back up. And now, like, if this keeps up where it doesn't start dumping again, which it could, this could be the beginning of something more bad, right? Not as good. This could be, this is how it can start, right? Like, bearish aggression picking up, you know? But, like, if it really actually starts pivoting above 50,848 on the 4 hour, then you're talking about hidden bullish divergence argument could be made, like, for sure. So you just got to keep your eye on it, and it's always a possibility in these really bullish market conditions, okay? Would be hilarious. So yeah, again, your market cap for Bitcoin is flirting with not being above $1 trillion anymore, and you did technically just bearishly engulf. If you didn't want to call it a bearish engulfing, fine, go ahead and call it a hanging man almost, you know. Okay, let's look at the daily on Bitcoin. Whew. You know, bearish engulfing, hanging man here too. So I mean, the next target's probably like 48.6 if the selling starts picking up again. 48.6, that's just that demand line of the structure we've been in. But what could you be mad about? Remember, like, where did this all happen? You just gotta remember where. Plotted this multiple times, right? From where the impulse of the bull pole began. From the breakout. I mean, it's like almost literally. It is perfect. It's actually literally perfect. Look. I mean, traders settled up at that point and never a dollar higher, really. Not really. And that's where this craziness has started. So you just can't be surprised when we see stuff like this at these levels. I mean, it's just... Just remember, you know what the next discernible swing low is on the daily, right? We're talking $30,000. That's it. So this thing could pull back, come and back test 40K as support for the first time ever, and still be extremely bullish trend, long-term bullish trend. You just might, I mean, this might be needed. This is what happens, man. You're up and down. And you know, from like one high to maybe the next high, you can say lower levels relative strength. That's true there. So, I mean, that argument could be made. And soon, at some point, if this keeps up, you'll probably start building negative momentum, get another one of these islands. Why you pull back, man? How perfect, man. I'm just going to get rid of this for now. Right, just make it clean where you can see it. So more downside, again, could take you to like 49K, I guess, at this rate, but also 50K. Right, so I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you look at the histogram of the 4 hour, right, it could be hidden bullish divergence, but it's only if you keep catching bids. If you stop catching bids, nope, no way. It's just going to keep selling off, eventually fall below 51K, and then you won't have any divergence argument anymore. So, okay, Ethereum. I mean, you get it, right? I mean, how can you be surprised on Ethereum? Now, I mean, again, it's crazy pullback, sure, but how can you be surprised when, you know, there's this channel we've had plotted for a while, and you hit $2,000 psychological resistance, but then you exceed it, and you say just above it is the supply line of the channel, the major linear regression channel, parallel channel, and you dump to the bottom of it. You tested the 200 moving average for the first time, technically since like Christmas Eve. So these things were bound to happen eventually, you know. The trend isn't over. It's not bearish yet or anything. It's just corrections happen, man. People get liquidated. And hopefully it can be a great lesson to people that were newer that just weren't listening to, they were just listening to hype and buying coins at absorbently high prices. Because I don't know like how much I can say, you know, when we're looking at these assets. I don't know what you want me to look at, man. It's really high. There's just probably better opportunity out there. Look at IBM now. My God. IBM's at areas of value, and 786 retraces from 2008 and backtesting springs from years ago, supports from 1993. I mean, that's stuff you want to find as a trader, not looking at Litecoin or Tesla at levels where they're up like 1,000+% in a short period of time, right? I mean, those are just ones where the risk is inherently high, depending, I mean, despite the structure, the risk is high just because of how parabolic they've run. And you got to worry about that rug pull. You don't really have to worry about rug pulls when you're finding Gartleys and Divergence and 1993 ice lines. You don't have to worry about rug pulls there. The rug pull was pulled years ago on these assets at their tops, right? And now they're not at tops, they're at bottoms. We're not, you know, it's not over yet. We're not out of the woods. That was an engulfing candle And you could find your way right back to the bottom of the channel again, a little bit more methodically. Good, this happens, man. Like scalpers, people just have bids set up and just like tons of orders come in, but the, you know, after that, like scalpers would take profit, and then it just starts slowly selling off again after the scalpers finish up their business, right? So I've been live about an hour. Stream, you know, good. Like I didn't expect this, but man, definitely had a hunch. You know, on moves like this, the stream is normally a lot more normal, which I haven't had a normal stream really in a while. Wow, how about this, dudes? You want to see something incredible? I mean, this is maybe educational. Look at your NFTX. This is a contribution from Anthony asking, look what your 3 white soldiers, textbook 3 white soldiers, and on the daily, and it's really tough because the data is so lacking here, but you could say the argument, give the argument that there's hidden divergence, hidden bullish divergence on the histogram. And there, see, there goes Bitcoin to the downside, dumping. I mean, selling off. It's already down almost 2%, $1,000 on the new day. That's what we're talking about. Could just be the beginning of something worse, but you're probably not in trouble till you break below like $49,000 or so. For real. So through it, soldiers, hidden divergence. There could be more upside on this. Man, I love that. It was like the only supports you had, you hit it, and then you bounced. And then like the hidden divergence was there too in the end. Pretty good. Now, I don't. Some of these coins that wrapped Ether and all that, I don't know how they correlate really with Bitcoin. Some of them have like no beta. Like they don't. See, this one's not even responding to it. It doesn't even matter. Like whatever Bitcoin does, this doesn't care, and it just is in its own world. You know, it's up 0.79% today. It did technically just on the 4-hour bullishly engulf. Probably very little liquidity. I would think the target from here would eventually be 25 cents. 27 cents is the top of the range, all-time highs, right? Could have argued from a low. It's like an XA, B, C, D. It's deep retrace from that low. So almost harmonic stuff. And now you're rallying. So that'd be your target. And if you ever broke that, just because you asked, I mean, you're requesting this. I mean, from the highest point to the lowest point, you're talking like a 1272 is 33 cents. So 25 to 27 cents first target, 33 cents, and then 39 cents, your gold mean ratio. 3 targets right there for NFTX that is held up pretty well, like the higher low there. So let's see if it keeps going. Now, remember, you get these levels, you got to wonder, would you get a confirmation low? You know, you never really know on the first pivot point. Always a chance you get a confirmation low at that same level. Okay. We are now below $1 trillion market cap. Get wrecked, Bitcoin. It was fun while it lasted, right, chat? Yeah, man. AG up 12.29% today, Jibberman. Yeah, but it closed actually above the high from August 2016. That's pretty amazing. So you think the next target's 2220 again? As you would hit that and then pull back. Hey man, this one's great, right? Love the higher lows. About, look at that. Just like Chevron did. Look how you triple bottom pretty much off the 200-day moving average on this one. And so again, anything above 1815, anything above right where you are, 1912, and the next area, you think you're running to 2220 to 2460 up here. And those are like your all-time highs back from 2011, 2012. Okay. So yeah. Very nice, Jeffrey. I'm not sure what you wanted me to look at so much. Besides the fact that it has had a nice close and could fill a gap. Look, a gap fill would knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. You fill the gap at 2220 and you run up to test resistance again. Boom, that is your target, pretty much, Jeffrey. But I'm not saying buy now because it's up 12% today, down 1.58% after hours. But still, right, anything above that $18, $15, $19 area is good. What's up, Fawn Win? Sure. Bell, meat, bourbon. It's a mead bourbon. Is that real? Thank you, man. Okay. Noticed a lot of people freaked out in the chat. A few people disturbed. It's okay, man. I understand. I mean, but all I can do is give you the GIF. Welcome to the effing show. You know, Will Ferrell. Yeah, dude. Huh. Oh, I mean, my God, you know, like a flower company. Really, dude? A flower company. Going parabolic. I mean, it's so insane, right? I mean, it's like, you just get the curved line tool out. This is a tech stock? Nah, dude, they do flowers. Like, how do you even... I mean, something along these lines, right? Where you could just see how high it is, and you look at this, man. On the weekly, you're showing bearish divergence on the MACD. Pretty much whichever peak you look at, it's just like that. So we obviously know by looking at this, not value, no value here, and it's a flower delivery company on the internet. So it's below 30. You get back about 32.83. Hey, things could be good. Really doesn't look too bad on the daily. If this is going to continue, like, dude, there's just so much, right? You got a curved line. You could just plot another demand line. This thing just keeps legging up. I mean, my God, how many times has it got to leg up? Like 1,000 times it's legged up in this whole run. Wait till a real, I don't even, are we even allowed to have a real bear market again? Like, something like flowers.com is going to get obliterated in a real bear market if the money printer actually, they let it stop. I don't even know, man, how the system works anymore. So if you can't break 32.83, you think eventually it's coming down to test $24, $25 a demand line down here. That's all I can tell you. Look, there's a support there down at $22. So yeah, that's it. Not sure exactly what you wanted to see, J Nathan, on flowers.com. Yeah, break 32.83, and then you're probably going back up to almost $40. Oops. All right, look at that. I mean, I think if it breaks 32.83 and it's going to keep going, then you're talking $41 and then $55 if it keeps going. So we got upside, downside targets. Nothing really implying upside, but you know the weekly's kind of implying downside. So not really something we want everything to be implying the same thing when we take our trades, okay? You don't want things being like, oh, this is bearish indicator. So Charizard, yeah, you're gonna look at Link, it looks like everything else, man. Everything else. Oh, except for being up 10.86% today, of course. Dude, in 17 minutes, this asset's up 11%. So it's decoupling. Hidden divergence on the daily starting to develop too. Wow. Back tested 133, which is a low point. Wow. Nice little run so far. Definitely range bound, right?
Thanks, Mitch. Yeah, no value here, okay.
Thanks, dude. Well, I mean, sometimes not much we can do when the market rolls over for like anything, you know. That's what stops are for. And you know, that was like a stop hunt. Scalpers took longs, and scalpers probably taking profit, and the downside could continue on Bitcoin and crypto. So I wouldn't be surprised at all, man. You can't, I mean, how can you be surprised? Look at this chart, man. Just look at it. If it goes to 40K, it wouldn't be weird. Like, because it's never even back tested that. Market participants don't even know if 40K is an actual support if things start going down. So, but at the same time, because there's no edge, you can also say you're still inside that structure with a demand line around $49,000, $48,000. So it's just, some more data would be great. So, I mean, I think like where a chart is, an asset is on the market could dictate how much value is provided here. Because like if there's no edge and there's nothing that we can't apply TA because there's nothing implying anything on the charts, well, it's hard for me to provide value on that asset on a given day, right? So yeah, this thing's pumping, man. ZRX up 14.5% and climbing. So nothing else is up. Nothing like ZRX. It's its own chart right now. Holding on, man. So what more to talk about on ZRX besides the target's like $2, right? The top of the range, $2, right? You hit the bottom of the range, you're going. If it's going to actually play out and ping pong between supports, resistances, then $2. Easy. Well, see, just another one, man. Just another one. Like Link, you know, had that demand line. I just extended it out and you sold off and you fell all the way down to $25, a little less than $25. You finally back tested these areas. The old sell walls are now support and nice bounce, right? An insane bounce. Look at, I mean, the percentage bounce today. 22% bounce from the low to that, but where you are now, it's like you're up 25% from the lows of yesterday.
Crypto, please.
Buy crypto, please, Draken. Okay, we'll buy crypto. Thank you, man. I'm just kidding. We'll look at that ticker. So though it hit a demand line we'd have plotted, I mean, these are not the days for the swing trader to be like making decisions on longs and shorts or whatever. After this, it's like let the dust settle. Let's see which direction we're really going, because it's like, is this the beginning of something greater, which it could be, or is this actually just a fake out, a real fake out, which you've seen. Like you get those throughout the years in bullish cycles in Bitcoin. You get big pullbacks, rallies, and then you run again. So you gotta be patient in these situations, and that's why you have a hold account where you don't care if it does that, goes up or down. You got a long-term outlook on it, and you're not phased. These scam wicks can't scare you because you're not selling either way. All right. You hit your 200 moving average for the first time since January 11th. Oh wow. Okay, we are we are 875 YouTube subscribers away from 50,000. I'm gonna try to do something special once we hit, if we ever hit 50K. Who knows? I'm not getting cocky. I may never hit 50,000 subs, but I'm just saying, like, we're less than 900 away. And we could do it at some point. It kind of sucks that, you know, Bitcoin's doing this when we're in the home stretch, like that last 100 yards, 100 meters. But maybe we'll get there eventually, if we're lucky. So kind of hard to see. It's like, is that hidden type? Not really. I mean, it's a lower low, so it's just going to follow Bitcoin. You understand? All these altcoins are going to just do what Bitcoin's doing. They don't know.
I never thought I would learn so much so quick. Learning TA seemed so out of reach. Thank you for building a great community around education. Thank you.
John Candlewick, thanks to 1033. Thanks for the kind words, and thanks for being a part of it. Seriously, thanks everyone for being a patron. You know, it's always easy. It's easy being a patron on days like Moontime, but on days like this, man, you really take a deep look at yourself in the mirror, and you're like, how much do I know? You know, trade setups, they come and go, but education is forever, right? I mean, think about the Patreon as the richest man in Babylon. What did the dad give the son? Gave them bags of gold, which you could consider the trade setups, right? But he also gave the tablets. The tablets, if you lose the gold, you at least got the education, right? The teachings to where you can get better, invest in yourself, and then eventually things will turn around. The market will eventually show an edge again, and then you'll be prepared to take advantage of that edge that the market is presenting us.
Can you take a look at Jupiter dollar Duke, please?
We'll look at Jupiter and then Neptune. Just kidding. You know what I was gonna say, but I didn't say it. You tempted me, man. So I mean, I need more. I need more data. Look at the asset, dude. Look at it. No value up here. I mean, I like how it back tested $25, $26. Let's see if it holds that, man. Let's see what Bitcoin. We'll see what direction Bitcoin's going. Okay. Read. Yeah. Old COLB. Someone wants an update, and his name is Robert B. Robert Burke. Here you go, man. I mean, this is almost the most textbook Gartley. It's pretty close anyway. It's 57%, you know. Alright. Do we look at the... I mean, the 4 hour looks phenomenal. I mean, your lows, your lower lows, and then your lowest lows. And every single time you're making much lower levels of negative momentum and you're about to go positive. It just looks good. It looks like that bullish divergence is really maturing. It's really developed and it's about to go positive again at, it's like Gartley bat. It's the bullish cat pattern, right? 886, 1618, fib extension, but it's a 57% retrace, so it's not exactly a Gartley because of where it's pivoting. And that's okay, man. Value areas. See, these are the things that matter, man. These are the ones that you look for. You know, at one time, a lot of people weren't here, but the whole crypto space was showing value like this in September of last year. Across all of them. You had to be here. You had to care about crypto before it mattered, really. Before things were insane. So eventually, one day, crypto will show incredible opportunity like this again, but you might not be here because it takes lots of time to develop. Think about this pattern size. It's taken 86 days for this Gartley, this bullish cat pattern to develop, right? So, there you go, man. Targets are still much higher. I mean, you're thinking at least a target at 1255, 1326. After that, you're talking either 16 bucks around 16 bucks. This is a great pattern, man. This is good. COLB. You should pay attention to it. Hey, it hasn't taken off yet. It's not doing things, but yeah, daily's not showing as much as I'd like. I'd like to see more from it, but just you hadn't seen positive momentum since January 8th. I just love the area it's at. It's such an area of low risk, right? Just, come on, man. We just looked at Link. We looked at Tesla. We looked at Inphase Energy. These assets that have gone completely bonkers parabolic. And everyone's like, I'm obsessed with it. I need it in my life. I love it. And then you come here to COLV and everyone's like, I'm turning off the stream. Screw this. This is boring. Yeah, Composite Operator wants it that way. Composite Operator wants you to not care about assets at these levels. He wants you to be obsessed and all in somehow on Tesla at all-time highs, Inphase Energy at all-time highs, Bitcoin at all-time highs, NES coin at all-time highs. It wants that. But this is where the Composite man places his bets, and it takes some time. He could spend months down here, weeks down here accumulating, and he does it quietly so it doesn't get a huge price spike. But we can see we understand value, 88% retraces, we understand ice lines, so we're playing his game. Okay? The next one was what is it? I don't know, man. All right, buy the US dollar. I was in this. I thought I saw this before. No, I have no memory of this place. Gandalf meme. Very illiquid, probably. I mean, by the looks of it, like it's making higher lows, I guess. Don't really like it below that high from November 2020. Nothing really sticks out to me as amazing here. Right, like what is it? It's not, it's only regarded, look, it was above this 14-cent area for a while and couldn't catch bids, and then it falls below it. Guh. And now it's rallied and it's only back tested what was once resistance as resistance again. It's like confirmation that it's still a resistance and not a support anymore. So that previous price action is not good. Depending on how Bitcoin goes, if Bitcoin's correction continues, you could almost see this thing definitely going down to 10 cents. At least to see this low right here from October 28th. Right, I mean, look, it's support, resistance, resistance, support. Why not support again? If this is resistance, and you'd think it would. There's no real edge. There's no edge on buy to the US dollar right now. These current prices. There's no doubt. Now, I mean, the only thing that looks interesting on buy to the US dollar is the fact that it hadn't seen, it's not seen positive momos since like late January, and it's about to lose it all and about to go positive again. That's like the only thing that's interesting about it. That doesn't, but that's not like really strong, and it's like one variable alone. So even if it goes the upside moons or something, defying Bitcoin and everything else, it's the argument wasn't strong enough to be like, oh, I want to play the numbers game. I want to add this to my list of assets I want to go long on. Just not strong enough of argument to be taking longs on this, even if it does moon. Okay. What's up, San Jose Cali Tone? Let's get it. Yep. Well, we got it, man. We got it. We've been looking at all these charts. Been live an hour and 20 minutes. So if you're enjoying it, maybe not the price action, hit that like button, that bell, that sub. Thanks. Oh my god, dude. So there's Jupiter Fund Management, and there's actually an asset called Jupiter to Wrapped Ether. I'm gonna wait for you to tell me which one because I have no idea. Okay. Like he's probably asking about Jupiter to Wrapped Ether because look at it. You know, I'm just taking a guess here.
All Hall of Fame dollar half. Take a look.
We'll do it off lock. Thanks to 20 minutes, right? Okay. I don't know what he wants. Fiognar? He's the one that contributed here. Are you still out there watching the stream? Just type in the live chat, man, what you want. Oh, he said it. Okay, too wrapped either. We're good. I don't know, man. I hadn't seen negative momentum on the 4 hours since January 29th, so it's just going up, man. Nice uptrend it's in. There's nothing I can do here, really, right? I mean, besides plot a channel or something. I don't even know how. Is that it, man? Is that the channel it's in? Love assets with no data that go straight up as soon as they're listed. Right? What can you do here? I mean, there's like nothing I can do. There's no like. Right? It's nothing and then moon. Overbought, very overbought. It's like 98 on the RSI on the daily. Move along, sir. Move along. This is for the moon boys. This is for the moon boys. Sorry, man. I mean, like, remember, quality. Look, you can contribute to the stream. Like, your $20 of a contribution to get something looked at can be a little bit or a lot, right? If it's an amazing asset where you've taken the teachings, you've applied the teachings of, you know, this community to a chart, I mean, it can be a $10,000 type contribution, or it can just be a Moon Boy pump contribution, you know, and we don't get anything, no one gets anything out of it. But like if you're identifying a nice trade setup like IBM or that COLV, those are more quality requests. Things like Jupiter to Wrapped Ether is not a quality request. And I'm not saying I don't appreciate your contribution, I certainly do, but what's the whole point of this channel, right? That's why you have to ask the question. The whole point of this channel is looking for opportunities to take longs on assets at areas of value that are showing a bunch of variables that are all implying the same thing, right? All saying up next, not down, right? On multiple time scales. You know what we look for, the cake baking. Go watch my cake baking video if you haven't yet. It's on my YouTube channel under education. Get a coffee and watch. It's like 15 minutes long. I think you get a lot out of it. You understand what I'm talking about. You go watch that video before you request something, and you'll be like, okay, I probably shouldn't request this because no one's getting anything out of it, including yourself. Okay, I just want the best for you, and I want you, if you're gonna request something, to contribute something of high quality. You know, there are many people that request nothing but quality charts with value, coinciding variables. All right, anyway, so we're looking at Hall of Fame resort and entertainment company that has filled a gap. It's not really, it's kind of tough to say it's making higher lows. It's almost like it hasn't even made a swing low yet. I mean, it's trying to maybe now, but you think the lowest risk would be around $2, right? A back test, you haven't done that, right? Ever since you broke you springed above the ice line, you have not confirmed its validity as support yet. So that would obviously be the best entry ever for HOFV, but you're not there yet. Negative momentum is just building, and it could keep going. I mean, you could keep selling off here depending on what the macro does. But here's the thing: if you ever broke 341, I think you're going straight up to 491. You ever break 491, you're going to 660. So it's like stepping stones. It's all about the ifs at this point. That's your daily. Here's your 4 hour. That's kind of like, I mean, the argument for hidden bullish divergence is there, but it's just like you have all this negative momentum, and now you're starting to build negative momentum again. So I see what it's doing. It's trying to hold on to 257, this little high point from October 8th. And if it doesn't hold that, it's going to 198. And that would be your best entry, I think. Best entry is $2. But right, if you think about this one, when we look at the daily, where traders set up their highest point November 5th at 341, you got to think about you're kind of range bound. And if you're range bound between 341 and $2, you're in the dead middle. So it's not as easy to manage risk here, to where you know, like, if it breaks 258, you know it's going straight down to $2. So you see what I'm saying? Like, there are low risk areas, and then there are areas where it's very difficult to manage risk, and you're kind of in that spot right now, where I don't think any oscillator is strong enough on the 4 hour daily to determine that you have an edge, declaring that this will be where it pivots and runs to 341 again. I don't know, man. So low risk, high risk. Got it. HOFV. Okay. You need Bitcoin? You need Bitcoin information, man? Sorry, dude. I forgot, man. Forgot to look at Bitcoin today, chat. I'm crazy, right?
Balapa 24 tip $23.76. Mitch, here's 6 shares of NOC for your bag.
Yeah.
If you look at SLGG, I believe this is triple bullish divergence on the daily. Now retesting support, which has been resistance. TA checks.
Alright, Balapa, man. Love the argument. Love the contribution. Sounds good. You'll look at it right after we look at Bitcoin for the first time in the entire stream, I believe, right? Well, I mean, some of the people in chat are talking like that. Like, I haven't even looked at Bitcoin today. Hour 30-minute uptime. Let's go, dude. So what do you want, man? There's no technical damage done. I mean, you haven't even made a lower high than the most local minor scrub lower high or high or low from February 19th. You haven't even done that yet. So until you do that, I mean, you can't say it's bearish yet. It's just crazy volatility hitting a demand line, and bids came in. And if it keeps catching bids here, that's a big if. If it keeps catching bids here, hidden bullish divergence argument's actually going to become a reality. It's a little too early. So we need, like, I don't know, 12, 16, 24 more hours of 4-hour data, right, to determine whether this is going to start rounding out or if it's actually going to keep building on lower prices where we eventually see 50K again. Just, I don't know, man. These are not the swing traders days where the moves are just happening. You need, remember time, which looked at CLOV, where it's like, it took 86 days for that harmonic to develop before there's opportunity. But the beauty is it takes time, but that's why you have endless charts, endless assets on a lot of markets. So you can always be scanning, man. Always be scanning for opportunity. And then you'll find things like IBM, Gartley's 1993 supports, Icelines from 2016. I mean, all those being back tested, right? It's gorgeous. And then here it's like, okay. You see that? Like how quickly it can just go to building negative momentum again. Like you're starting at that breaking point. So this is why having a hold account is so important in these situations, because you just don't care what way it's going. Send it to zero, thy will be done. But you have conviction that it's not going to go to zero, because there is certainly now trust involved with Bitcoin. People trust Bitcoin. If you don't believe me, you've been asleep for the past year. It's happened, and it's happening every day. More and more people are getting involved with Bitcoin. And good luck trying to argue to me that the US dollar is a better store value than frickin' Bitcoin at this point. Well, remember Balapa, you want 1 million volume, you got 450,000 volume. Not really at, the lowest, like 191 was the best, right? It's kind of gone up insanely since then. So where do you even plot where is the resistance? There's so many scam wicks. Look at the daily. See that right there? A lot of touches, man. Yep, that's it. That's the high point because of that low from September 2019. Everything correlated to it after that, including these, right? You had price action above it, but they always could never sustain price before you sold off again. So you are below that right now. So anything above 394, you could be in really good shape. If not, you could be due for a pullback. Okay, and you were talking about triple bullish divergence on the daily. Balapa, man, this is not bullish divergence, right? You don't make divergence when you make a low, a higher low, and then a higher low, and you make lower levels every time. That would be considered bullish convergence, which is not the same thing. This is kind of gone, and it's kind of in its own little parabolic run right now, right? I mean, getting the curved line, right? It was just like, yep. I mean, that to me, man, is not really that great. You're at high risk areas. You're at areas where major reversals have happened over and over and over and over again. So, right? What has happened every single time in history since, pretty much November of 2019? Oh, well, you've hit 394 and maybe you blasted through it for a day, but almost every single time you eventually end up at the bottom of the channel again. So, with that being said, it's like really tough to want to do anything bullish. I don't see anything really bullish too much here, right? I mean, low risk at 191, high risk at $4, 394, right? So, and historically, it only goes to 191 after testing 394 every time. So, but yeah, I like maybe the range here. I like the range. So maybe we could sell off, make another higher low. This could be, Wyckoff accumulation or something like that, schematic. So you just know, though, like monitoring at Balapa, if you get back above 394 and you start back testing that support, That will be the first time it's ever done that. So that is the thing to watch on SLGG is, I mean, I would remain prudent here because of where it is and the history behind 394 and its correlation price action. But getting above it, back testing, like what you want to see here is, all right, we saw mega high or low again, and then we rally, and then we back test it as support. That's never happened before. Never. So if it does happen, look at the price action correlation from history. It could bounce off 394 and run to $5.99, $6. And then, you know, you back test the spring. That's when you want to be taking the strike, when you get confirmation that what was once support is support again for the first time since it was manufactured again late 2019. You got me? Bob, are we cool? All right. All right, that's the end of my coffee. I think we're good, man. You know, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Bitcoin's, you know, showing extreme amounts of volatility, the most volatility we've seen in a while. And that could have just been scalpers pushing the price up. You engulfed bearishly. You had a 100% measure move if you were considering this a bull pull bull flag to the dollar pretty much. And that's where you're beginning to reverse. No technical damage has been done on the 4 hour yet. You got to give it time. And that's what we're talking about. No damage done because you're above 50K. You're still even making a higher low than the low from February 19th. I don't know, dude. Please check the description below if you're requesting an asset. No idea if the hidden divergence is going to play out or not because you just start selling off again. I mean, anything above 51K, there's no chance of hidden divergence at all. It'd be done. So I think if you break that, you're probably going to test the demand line again. You break that, wow. I mean, eventually $42,000 could be back tested. Eventually, but these are just not areas, I'm sorry, where a rational swing trader takes longs or... Okay, it's just not. Like, this is the area. We just look at a measure move that was hit. That's like profit taking levels up there. Not time to go long on Bitcoin. That's why you have a hold position, though. All right. Despite the circumstances, decent stream. Thanks everyone for coming out. Thanks for the likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. Thanks for the 1,772 people tuned in. And thanks for the 725 likes. I really appreciate it, y'all. But just patience. We need more data. I'm sorry. On a move like that, I need more data. On time scales like the 4 hour plus. Truly to tell, but you can't say it's bearish yet. You just can't. But you also can't say, oh, well, that was nothing. It's time to moon again. You just don't know yet. Right? You understand what I do, right? Like you can present an argument finding an edge on the market, and there's just not much of any edge right now, especially with what just happened. So, all right, saved by the Dogecoin. Stream saved by the Dogecoin.
On NGL before you go.
All right, man. We'll look back at Not Gonna Lie. Just kidding. NGL Energy. We look at this like every day, right? Yeah, man. Look at, remember?
Tapped to buy PLS. Thank you. 0.05265629 LTC.
Hey, Zach, man. Please read the description below if you haven't. If you're requesting an asset, all right? Thank you, man, for the 1075 of Litecoin. So, yeah, like, remember the tweezer bottom? Tweezer bottom, and it started selling off, but remember, a bullish engulfing candle as a buying signal does not become invalid until the sell-off happens after the engulfing and you get a candle close, I think, below the open of the candle. That's how it's bearish. That's when it's invalidated to me. So this bullish engulfing candle as the buying signal has not been invalidated. It hasn't. It's up 2.44% today. This is in bullish territory. Hidden bullish divergence could be argued on the daily at a nice line, the bottom trading range. And the target eventually is $2.86 and $3 from here. Yes. That's NGL. There's not much... Right, we've been looking at this, we've been monitoring it. It's still very bullish. The tweezer bottom and engulfing candle is still valid as a reversal for now. And you're still losing your negative momo. You keep this up a little bit longer, you're about to go positive, and again, you catch a rally. 286, 302. All right, that's NGL. Not really any change, but nice to see it being up today and not continuing to bleed out. Great. Not gonna Litecoin, which is NGL. Dang, dude, IBM though, man, that Gartley is so pretty. Whew. Wonder what Scott Carney thinks about that one. Specimen looking stuff, dude. $14 emojis on IBM. Patrons, really? 14? There's 1,328 y'all? I don't know, dude. Yeah, ZRX pumping. Cardano's now up 2%. Good for it. DOT was just up for a second. Alright, y'all. Good stream. Just one of those days. We're going to see how it all goes this evening. Mysteries abound. I mean, it hit profit-taking levels of a bull flag. So this stuff happening is not a big deal. No technical damage done on the 4-hour at all. Daily engulfed bearishly. That's not enough data to be like, to make a determination of where this is going next. Okay, I'm sorry. But hey, IBM looks good. CLOV looks great. A couple others we looked at look good too. So, I'll be back. Until next time, respect the TA.
On
your homework, Larry.
And then, just like that,
Adios, turd nuggets.